Okay, hello everyone. Again, hello everyone. This is Sharonda, and this is my podcast as well as my Facebook and YouTube channel, Spiritual Sense. Today is Tuesday, which is March the 19th. And so, in the podcast as well as Facebook and YouTube channel, I go over topics regarding the paranormal, occult, supernatural. If you go on my podcast platform, which is on Spreaker.com, you'll find a variety of topics regarding the paranormal, occult, supernatural. I have a total of 5 podcasts on there. This being the most favorite one that I often record with. But I have holistic health, where I go over natural, homeopathic, herbalist type of home remedies for minor health concerns. I have health matters, subtitled mental health matters regarding the pathophysiological concerns regarding the body. I have Magic Mind Medium True Crime Podcast, where I have a couple of cases on there of old homicides that occurred in the past. I give you my opinions on those because that's why I titled it Magic Mind Medium True Crime Podcast. Um, Also, I have Motherland, which I had a couple of recordings on there about the motherland being Africa. Okay. I like to start off by saying that this podcast, YouTube channel, and Facebook Live is for entertainment purposes, informational purposes, and sometimes educational purposes. So, I think what does it mean to be a medium? I think to be a medium is spiritual gifts. Um, I think we all possess spiritual gifts. It just depends on how receptive you are to the energy and how you are able to relate it to interpret it out. Because I think, um, some people speak against this and says of not of God. Everything is of God, whether it be favorable or unfavorable. And these are my opinions. But everything is of God, whether it be favorable or unfavorable, because I can't remember exactly what the verse is, and I would have to look it up to reference it. But the devil can't do his duty or his job or its will without the permissibility, if that even is even a word, of God. Ultimately, in my opinion, it's one and the same. Okay? So I'm not here to argue with anybody about it. That's just the way it works. Um, so I want to say, Father Supreme Being of all being, thank you for waking me, family and friends alike up this morning to see another day. Continue to bless us and shield us from any injury, harm, or danger. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. As it is said, it is so. I declare and I decree. I want to pay homage to Bash, Shemaiah, Shango, Osiris, Ma'at, Ogun, and Oshun. So these are deities that you can call upon in times of trouble to assist you with. Uh, oh my gosh, I just knocked over my cords. Oh, this is about all my cords. To assist you in times of trouble, to give you some type of clarity, insight on things in terms of life, in terms of your spiritual. If something is going on with you spiritually, you will summon these spirits to give you some sense of clarity as to what is being presented to you. Because as I mentioned, we all have spiritual gifts, whether we want to admit to them or not. We do. We do. You may have some people out here that will make you feel as though that you got to go to them and they're the only one that possesses those gifts. Not necessarily. You may want to go to them for guidance so they can they're able to give you a synopsis as to how you are able to interpret what is being presented to you. If that makes any sense to anybody, how you will be able to uh, relate it out. If you're feeling like, okay, this is somehow God's way of providing some sense of a message that I need to alert someone on. Well, then you may want to consult with a medium or psychic like or whomever in regarding that. Okay. Um, a lot of people may frown upon things such as this, but I'm gonna explain something to you. It's real. You know, you may have those who are out here who are playing and think it's a joke. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I could be a sarcastic person at times myself, but in certain situations, um, I think it realness, your consistency and your realness holds a lot of respect. So if they see that you're trying to be funny and make light of situations, okay, you know, we all would joke about something. I mean, that's life. But when it comes to something such as this, it's nothing to laugh or joke about because you could find yourself the brunt of the joke, and you don't want to be the brunt of, a, of the joke. Okay. So that being said, I am going to proceed with the light reading today. I did a on Sunday. I did a light and dark. I think on Sundays I'm going to be doing light and dark readings on Sundays. So I'm gonna be mainly doing recordings on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays if it permits. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and scramble my cards because, as I mentioned, I'm not a shuffler. Um, but I think for those who may have the curious about uh, tarot cards, get you a couple of decks of cards and begin to work with them. It's going on about 5 or 6 years since I've been doing this. Do I know it all? No, I don't. I don't know it all, but I feel as though to be a so-called medium or intuitive parapsychologist is a new title, I quote unquote, because I have always had an interest in this, even as a kid, even as a kid. So I'm going to pull out. I'm going to do a 10 card today. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So, Father, give me infinite wisdom, knowledge, capability, and understanding as I do my reading. I don't know what the reading is on, but I do believe that it is a relevant reading, is what I feel. So, we're going to proceed to scramble the cards. Again, when you're the Celtic Cross is a popular spread that I used mainly. I do either a 10 or a 6 card, or I do a 3 card when I do my readings. Card 1 is going to be on the situation, person, or whatever the message is when you do your reading. Card 2 is going to be what the barrier, obstacle, or hurdle is. Card 3 is going to be where you're trying to attain, get at, or what's above. Card 4 is going to be the root or the reason. Card to the left is going to be the past or what's occurring. To the right is going to be the what's occurring or the future. Card 7 is going to be the attitude. 8 is going to be the what's physically surrounded or morale. 9 is going to be hopes, fears, and dreams, and 10 is going to be the outcome. Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and this is card 1. I don't know if you're able to see because I have my laptop pulled back. This is card 1. The Wheel of Fortune. So, what is the Wheel of Fortune? Let's pull out my guide. So, what does the Wheel of Fortune mentions um, in terms of a reading? What does the Wheel of Fortune? It says good luck, change, destiny, life cycles, karma. I honestly feel as though let's look into the main core before I go into what I feel as though it is. This is what the barrier is: works, obstacle or hurdle above the situation. I have chariot. Chariot. What does the chariot card means? Let me see if I have chariot on here because I have my own thing. Travel, control, action, willpower, determination. So that's what I have here. This is what's above the situation. This is what I have as the reason: wealth. And what is wealth? Wealth doesn't necessarily have to be monetary. It could be assets. It could be knowledge. It could be health. So wealth is far beyond money. Monies, if that makes any sense to anybody. To the left, I have justice, and to the right, I have interference. I really believe this reading, just off reading these six cards, again, we're going to go back to some of the same similar things that I say in just about every other card reading. I think right now, works in this reading is in terms of something that you're trying to do. So it may not necessarily be works per se, like a job, but I think it's something that you're trying to do, that you're having an issue with executing. And why is this? Because I honestly feel as though you are dealing with some type of, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news because, as I mentioned, I like my readings to be positive, but I also want them to be realistic as well. I feel as though you are facing some sense of karma. And what do I mean by karma? I think karma in this situation is, um, I hate to say curse because I don't feel as though it's that bad off. Uh, but what I will say is, um, evil eye. You know, I bought me these little things and they came yesterday. Evil eye. If you ever heard of the term of evil eye, and I think at the close of this episode, I will touch bases on evil eye and what exactly is evil eye. So, evil eye is oversight in regarding your business or what you're doing. That's what I feel. When you don't have that spiritual insight to know, you would take it personal, if that makes any sense. Like you would take it, and let me turn this light on. Okay. You would you would take it personal as such, to where you will begin to read a situation more than what it is. You'll begin to become paranoid. You'll begin to turn on those who really truly care about you. It will play on your mind. See, I seen the evil eye when I was a little girl. I seen it on the wall, and I was a little bit afraid, but then I was unafraid. And this is what has forefronted this whole persona with me in terms of the magic mind medium or whatever the case may be, because of some things that God presented to me to relate out. And I had to get out here and learn the jargon, the term, as to how to relate the information that was being presented to me. Because oftentimes when you are chosen for this particular genre of spiritual duties. I mean, it's not nothing that you choose to do. You may want to go out to get the lingo, learn the lingo, and learn the terms as to how to communicate it out to where people will understand it and can relate and understand. I think what is going on with you is evil eye. And what do I mean? So evil eye is it will present itself in people that is surrounding you or surrounding you, however it's spiritual, if that makes any sense. It's spiritual, it's more spiritual than you would know. That's the only way I can put it. So you would know when some things are done personally, and then you would know when it's spiritually, meaning from God, if that makes any sense. Um, Meaning this is him relaying a message to you by way of what presents to you. And you'll begin to wonder, okay, what is the significance of those that present to me? Because it's going to tell on what he's trying to relate to me. Okay. Because I have the wheel of fortune, I have wealth, which is in the root of the issue. To the left, I have justice as well. I have interference. I think the interference is him interceding into your life to provide you some sense of understanding. Okay. So, as we would know culturally wise, they mentioned that with the evil eye, you're not to look people in their eyes because it can precipitate or bring about a curse. But I honestly feel as though that's God's way of providing you some sense of knowledge into what's going on with you, because the people are being used as a vessel, as a messenger to you. That's what I feel. And they may take it personally and think that you are looking at them and judging them, but that's not necessarily the case. It's the point. Okay. All right. So let's see if I can adjust my light and then turn this back off. Okay. I don't know. I'm trying to get the lighting right. Give me just a moment. Okay. All right. So it looks like it's not even showing me right now. Give me just a moment. Let's see if I can change. It doesn't look like it's showing me in. Let's see. Okay. Now, let's try to get things adjusted. All right. Now I'm showing up. So, card 7, I have death card is what I show here in this reading. Um, I think in essence, death in this situation, I don't feel as though it's biological death. of what per se. But what I do believe is um, these are spirits. You know, before awakening today, it kept showing me the different spiritual duties and spirits that presents by way of spiritual duties and spirit related job fields. And I think, in essence, what is occurring with you is such as that is evil eye by way of spiritual. They're being used as vessels by way of God, is what it lets me know. And so how would you handle a situation such as that? Well, the best thing I could tell you to do is repent of your sins. We all are sinners. I'm not finna sit here and make it seem as though I'm perfect because no one is perfect. But you will begin to know spirit. You begin to know how God will put the spirit in them as such to relay a message. And I think this is what that message is what it lets me know. Like you are dealing with evil eye. Um, if that makes any sense to you. And I will go into depth as to what evil eye is at the close of this podcast because I was prompted to get up today to speak on this topic because it may be relevant and warranted. Okay. The next card that I have truce card. That is what's physically surrounding. I honestly feel as though um in your situation, truce, we know what a truce is. Truce is when you make a pact, or similar to like if you sell your soul, if that makes any sense. So I honestly feel as though you would know what you did in your own personal head situation and things of that sort. But oftentimes when things are presented to us, is when we begin to what? Sell out or sell our souls for what? Notoriety, fame, fortune. And what does it mean to sell one's soul? It doesn't necessarily mean, um, just put it this way: if you are someone that similar to like somebody that's a sellout or somebody that um try to put somebody on. Just put it this way: what my synopsis or my um interpretation of someone that is selling their soul is kind of like somebody that go against the grain, like a rebel without a cause, if that makes any sense. Like somebody that's sold out. And as a result of doing that, you have you have opened up a whole genre of spirits because oftentimes when people are confused and they lack spiritual guidance, spiritual understanding, they will begin to work against itself, similar to self sabotage, like foolishly doing some things against oneself, if that makes any sense. And I don't know if this reading is applicable to you or someone you know, but I feel as though this is what this reading is letting me know that somebody foolishly did some things because not having true spiritual understanding turn against oneself, and as a result some energies had to oversee um, what was transpiring with them to cover them. It's what it lets me know. I have hopes, fears, and dreams. I have the Emperor card. Oftentimes, when I get the Emperor card, is in regarding employment or what have you. But I think in this term, in this situation, it is kind of like a corporation or some type of entity or enterprise. That's what it lets me know in the hopes, fears, and dreams card. So could this very well be the oversight relating to so-called evil eye? I get the happiness card here as well. If you're able to view that card, happiness as the outcome. I think happiness is in this situation is in essence protection, if that makes any sense. Protection is what I feel. Kind of like somebody who opened up Pandora's box and foolishly and not wanting to listen, not wanting to understand, not wanting to hear it no other way, and then somebody had to come in and what bail them out, if that makes any sense. All right, it looks like it's got me. Let's see. I have to get some things adjusted. Give me a moment. Okay, that's much better. All right. So we're going to proceed, and do bear with me. We're going to proceed with the love reading. Let's look at your love and see what's going on in terms of your love. How do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about those around you, and vice versa? What will perpetuate uh, this so-called evil eye to get you somehow confused to where you felt the need to want to snitch, as they would say, on the very ones that love you? What happened to cause these things to happen? What happened to cause this to happen? Once again, I said the enemy likes to get you alone, and oftentimes when the enemy gets you alone, it plays in the mind like a fiddler. And who do I mean by the enemy? Well, oftentimes we say the enemy, but ultimately it's God convicting you of some things that was not right. I have separation again. The enemy likes to get you alone, isolate you, and it's more or less, okay, now what would you do? What would Jesus do? So to speak. In other words, presenting things to you, kind of like somebody who um being in a candy store and you got rotten teeth, so to speak. So it's similar to that. It's like putting something before you that you know you don't need, just to see how you will make do on it. And temptation, in other words. And I feel as though Satan, quote unquote, tempted you and you made do on that. And now oversight has to come in to pretty much protect you from whatever spirits are coming against you, is what I feel. I have the separation card, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of future. So as I mentioned, the next card I have healing heart. I honestly feel as though you somehow have isolated yourself from those around you because of some things that you did or perhaps said, and in other words, sold out. And as a result, oh my gosh, they sought me up. I honestly feel as though you feel sought up. That's what it lets me know. Ultimately, I feel sought up. And now I have to get people to come in and restore me, my reputation, and everything that I've done. But ultimately, I feel foolish. I have this card here. The Grand Reaper. The relationship is over. No second chances grow and transform your life. I think in situations like that, you're beginning to see truly what a lot of the biblical conversations, TEDs, was really talking about. These are the milestones in life. In other words, based on the Grim Reaper card here, move on. I think a lot of damage has been done. I think as a result, there has been some damage control as to what can be controlled, but ultimately you can't control it all. The best thing you could do is just repent and move forward. We all will go through some things in life that's not favorable. That's just the way it works. I'm going to pull out three of past history cards. So we want to get a little bit more into depth as to what is it. Well, I feel as though communal living. I think in this I think what has in this sensibility, I feel as though like the community, like you perhaps are having some oversight by the community where you live, and somehow you feel like all the spotlight is on you. In other words, like you have totally ruined your reputation. I show leaving or travel. That's what I show. Celtic. I get Celtic. I feel as though um in this situation, it probably would be best for a transformation, a move to a different location. That's what I feel. Now let's get your thoughts, faith, and belief. What does the thoughts, faith, and belief mentions here? By way of my Celtic. So it's going to be something very significant with my Celtic cards because I pull the Celtic cross. And as I mentioned, the Celtic cards I say are your thoughts, faith, and belief. So we're going to see what the thoughts, faith, and belief all entail in this reading. We got one, two, and we're going to say three. What does the card say in terms of thoughts, faith, and belief? Well, we have the Hierophant card. Hierophant card. Let me see if that's on my guide. Spiritual wisdom, leadership, tradition, intuition, institutions. I honestly feel as though this evil eye is by way of institutions. It's institutional, if that makes any sense to you. And I have my own innate knowing about what Hierophant means to me, but I keep it on the inside. But the key word is institutions. That's what I have here. The next card I have here is King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. Now, what is Pentacles? It relates to material aspects of life, career, finances, business, and possessions. So, can we honestly say that? I hate to always bring up these actual things here because life is so much more than that. I think this right here is a representation of wealth, but ultimately, your well being is the main thing. Apart from what tangible things that can tear up, I think your well being is the main thing. Peace of mind, even is what I feel. Something lets me know this King of Pentacles is relates to somebody who this reading is applicable to, maybe an older person. The next card I have Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands. So what is wands? Wands represent the mind and intellect. I'm sorry. Wands relates to willpower and life force, passion, creativity, ego, and personality. So I honestly feel as though that it was more or less like a kind of like an ego check, if that makes any sense. Like these things that manifested with you was more or less a ego check, if that makes any sense. Now we're gonna we're gonna get some family history. Let me go ahead and I'm going to pull up my Egyptian tarot cards. And we're going to pull out one card regarding family history. What exactly does the card say in terms of family history? Because I honestly feel as though what's presented to you, you're taking it personal, but ultimately it's spiritual. And it's by way of God. It's what it lets me know. I have the 10 of chalices. So let's pull that card up and we're going to go from there. Well, what does 10 represent? 10 relates to renewal, fulfillment, and of a cycle. That's what I have. Now, we know the chalices is another form of saying what? Cups relates to feelings and emotion, creativity, relationship, intuition, and compassion. So I honestly feel as though something in regarding compassion with you and your feelings. That's what lets me know. Let me go ahead and I'm going to pull up the 10 of chalices and we will resume. Let's pull up the 10 of chalices. The 10 of chalices, which is a what? A minor carnal card. I pulled the 10 of chalices, I want to say last week sometime. It comes up quite frequently. Again, this podcast, YouTube channel, Facebook is for entertainment purposes. It is for entertainment purposes. So let's go ahead. We're going to pull up the 10 of chalices. Looks like I skipped over some, so bear with me. Mhm. Right, those are the swords. Where are the chalices? Must be way up. Bear with me for those who are tuning in or even listening in. So, 10 of chalices, the chalices of souls. The god Horus surrounded by 10 chalices, symbols of the heart containing the souls destined for reincarnation. I honestly feel as though the thirsty souls, I guess you would say, is evil eye, oversight. It's God, by the way. It's your intuition as well, because this is God's way of giving you the ability to see those who have transitioned over, whatever personality or characteristics they possessed, you will see it in your everyday walks of life. I have positive, happy union, harmony in the family, with friends, or in society. Good reputation is what I show. So, I mentioned this earlier about the reputation. Um, don't read much into a situation. Ultimately, don't read too much into a situation, because I think um, once you go through the milestones in life, God will. It's a way of humbling you, and why things was written in such a way, because these same spirits that presents to you in this time in existence was thousands of years ago. It's no different now. They are still around, they still exist, and they manifest themselves in a different era in time, moments in time. Now, the negative, this is what gravitates to you. We got ill-worded efforts, badly placed trust, indignation, and violence. I think things that are presented to you is God way of honing your spiritual sight. That's what I feel. Now we're going to go ahead. We're going to proceed with doing your energy. What is your life's purpose? You know, you hear me speaking about this spiritual duty, spiritual assignment, spirit related job fields. What exactly does that mean? What does that mean? Well, we're going to go ahead and pull out what is very significant in your situation, and we're going to proceed. This is what I have: body work. Body work is what it lets me know. Let's go ahead and read it. It says your life's purpose involves body work such as massage therapy, energy healing, physical therapy, or exercise training. So maybe this is something you need to consider if you not already have, but this is where your focus needs to be on. It's what it lets me know based on the cards. And I think when I think you are already into this type of works, but somehow spiritually you get pulled away from it because of evil eye. It's what that is. Something lets me know that you feel comfortable in those settings, and that's why you continue to go in and out of this spiritual duty or spirit related job field. You feel uncomfortable because what gravitates in makes me feel very uncomfortable. If you are feeling uncomfortable because of spirits that are coming in, that's God humbling you to keep yourself right and pure. That's what that is. Okay? Because if you have some battles with your sexuality, sensuality, if that makes any sense, oftentimes it's because of your own feelings that you have about those things. Okay, this is what I have as your uh, angel card, clairsentience, Archangel Raguel. Notice your recurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. Now, is it being done by way of to show commonality, or is it being done in this time in existence and understanding to harass and control? Which one is it? I think what you're dealing with is you need to work on self, as we all do, because I honestly feel as though you do have harassment that comes towards you, but I think what you really have is a form of evil eye of God giving you spiritual insight is what I feel. Don't take it personal when it's spiritual, and you will ask God to let you know the difference, if that makes any sense. Now we're going to go ahead. We're going to get your Healing Energy Oracle card read. This is what we have here. Listen to life. I am attentive to the world around me. Signs and symbols guide me to success. I listen and discover the way to the eternal. So pay attention. I think God wants you to pay attention more, listen more, because I do feel as though He is sending you some spiritual enlightenment about some things that you never really even fathomed. That's what it lets me know. Now let's get your soul truth card. And at the close of this reading, I will proceed with the evil eye because I do feel as though it is important to speak about. Let's get your soul truth. Okay, this one stands out right here. It mentions from whom can I release my judgment right now? Is what it says. From whom Whom can I release my judgment right now? Judgment closes our heart to truth and separate us from love. It binds us to our fear and holds us in shame. On whom are you placing judgment right now? Is it someone in your life? Is it yourself? Release the shackles, drop the expectation, and be grateful for what is. Today's soul's action. Look at the person you are judging as if you are looking at a small child. See them learning and growing, falling down and making mistakes. See their desire to be loved and accepted. Add even more grace to open your heart to this truth. When I lift the judgment from myself and others, I uncover my own truth. I am loved, I am whole, I am limitless, and so are they. So I honestly feel as though this judgment that you may be feeling is within your own right. That's what I feel. And you'll begin to see as such. I feel that way. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude this episode of Spiritual Sense. Spirit Light Reading. Have any questions, comments, or suggestions? You're more than welcome to comment below. Until then, have a safe and wonderful day. Good day.